down by the ferry. The ferry? It's not me talking. It's the voices. The fog comes on little cat feet. There was a fog that seemed to have taken the world away. Yet every so often it was as if I had opened my eyes and were seeing flashes. I could hear voices. "Strictly speaking, Senora, it isn't a coma. No, don't think about flat encephalograms, for heaven's sake. There's reactivity." Someone was aiming a light into my eyes, but after the light it was dark again. I could feel the puncture of a needle somewhere. "You see, there's withdrawal." Maigret plunges into a fog so dense that he can't even see where he's stepping. The fog teems with human shapes, swarms with an intense, mysterious life. Maigret? Elementary, my dear Watson. There are 10 little Indians, and the hound of the Baskervilles vanishes into the fog. The grey vapor was gradually losing its greyness of tint. The heat of the water was extreme, and its milky hue was more evident than ever, and now we rushed into the embraces of the cataract, where a chasm threw itself open to receive us. I heard people talking around me. Wanted to shout to let them know I was there. There was a continuous drone, as though I were being devoured by celibate machines with whetted teeth. I was in the penal colony. I felt a weight on my head, as if they had slipped the iron mask onto my face. I thought I saw sky-blue lights. There's asymmetry of the pupillary diameters. I had fragments of thoughts. Clearly I was waking up, but I couldn't move. If only I could stay awake. Was I sleeping again? Hours? Days? Centuries? The fog was back. The voices in the fog. The voices about the fog. Seltsam unable zu wandern. What language is that? I seemed to be swimming in the sea. I felt I was near the beach, but was unable to reach it. No one saw me, and the tide was carrying me away again. Please, tell me something. Please touch me. I felt a hand on my forehead. Such relief. Another voice. Senora, there are cases of patients who suddenly wake up and walk away under their own power. Someone was disturbing me with an intermittent light, with the hum of a tuning fork. It was as if they had put a jar of mustard under my nose, then a clove of garlic. The earth has the odor of mushrooms. Other voices, but these from within. Long laments of the steam engine, priests shapeless in the fog, walking single-filed toward San Michele in Bosco. The sky is made of ash. Fog up the river, fog down the river, fog biting the hands of the little match girl. Chance people on the bridges to the Isle of Dogs look into a nether sky of fog, with fog all round them, as if they were up in a balloon and hanging under the brown fog. I had not thought death had undone so many. The odor of train, station, and soot. Another light, softer. I seemed to hear, through the fog, the sound of bagpipes starting up again on the heath. Another long sleep, perhaps. Then a clearing, like being in a glass of water and anisette. He was right in front of me, though I still saw him as a shadow. My head felt muddled, as if I were waking up after having drunk too much. I think I managed to murmur something weakly, as if I were in that moment beginning to talk for the first time. Posco, reposco, flagito. Do they take the future infinitive? Cuius regio, eius religio. Is that the Peace of Augsburg or the defenestration of Prague? And then, fog too on the Apennine stretch of the Autosole highway, between Roncobelaccio and Barberino del Mugello. He smiled sympathetically. But now open your eyes all the way and try to look around. Do you know where we are?" Now I could see him better. He was wearing a white... what is it called? Coat. I looked around and was even able to move my head. The room was sober and clean, a few small pieces of pale metal furniture, and I was in bed with a tube stuck in my arm. From the window, through the lowered blinds, came a blade of sunlight. Spring on all sides shines in the air, and in the fields rejoices. I whispered, "We are in a hospital, and you're a doctor. Was I sick?" "Yes, you were sick. I'll explain later. But you've regained consciousness now. That's good. I'm Dr. Grattarolo. Forgive me if I ask you some questions. How many fingers am I holding up?" "That's a hand. And those are fingers. 4 of them." "Are there 4? "That's right. And what's 6 times 6? 36, of course." Thoughts were rumbling through my head, but they came as if of their own accord. The sum of the areas of the squares built on the 2 legs is equal to the area of the square built on the hypotenuse. Well done. I think that's the Pythagorean theorem, but I got a C in math in high school. Pythagoras of Samos. Euclid's elements. The desperate loneliness of parallel lines that never meet. Your memory seems to be in excellent condition. And by the way, what's your name? That is where I hesitated. And yet I did have it on the tip of my tongue. After a moment I offered the most obvious reply. "My name is Arthur Gordon Pym." "That isn't your name." "Of course. Pym was someone else." He didn't come back again. I tried to come to terms with the doctor. "Call me Ishmael?" "Your name is not Ishmael. Try harder." A word, like running into a wall. Saying Euclid or Ishmael was easy, like saying Jack and Jill went up a hill. Saying who I was, on the other hand, was like turning around and finding that wall. No, not a wall. I tried to explain. It doesn't feel like something solid. It's like walking through fog. "What's the fog like?" he asked. "The fog on the bristling hills climbs drizzling up the sky, and down below the mistral howls and whitens the sea." "What's the fog like?" "You put me at a disadvantage. I'm only a doctor. And besides, this is April. I can't show you any fog. Today's the 25th of April. April is the cruelest month. I'm not very well read, but I think that's a quotation. You could say that today's the day of liberation. Do you know what year this is? It's definitely after the discovery of America. You don't remember a date, any kind of date, before your reawakening? Any date? 1945, end of World War II. Not close enough. No, today is the 25th of April, 1991. You were born, I believe, at the end of 1931, all of which means you're pushing 60. 59 and a half. Not even. Your calculative faculties are in excellent shape, but you have had, how shall I say, an incident. You've come through it alive, and I congratulate you on that. But clearly something is still wrong. A slight case of retrograde amnesia. Not to worry, they sometimes don't last long, but please be so kind as to answer a few more questions. Are you married? You tell me. Yes, you're married. To an extremely likable lady named Paola, who has been by your side night and day. Just yesterday evening I insisted she go home. Otherwise she would have collapsed. Now that you're awake, I'll call her, but I'll have to prepare her, and before that, we need to do a few more tests. What if I mistake her for a hat? Excuse me? There was a man who mistook his wife for a hat. Oh, the Sachs book, a classic case. I see you're up on your reading.